This is gonna be a doozy. This is gonna be a doozy. This is unfortunate. This is gonna be really unfortunate, guys. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. Spelled that wrong. Unstable? Are you kidding me? Are you joking with me right now? I'm unstable? That can't be right. That can't be true. Anyway, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. We gotta get going on this ranking here. Right now. Or are you serious? A poor network connection right now? It looks fine to me. This looks fine to me, so I don't care. You got a PogChamp, it looks great to me. Yeah, this is fine. This guy's lying. This guy's lying. Alright, here we go. So I've been making music, and more specifically EDM, since 2014. And I thought that it would be interesting if I went through my own personal discography and I ranked every single song that I've ever made. Well, not every song that I've ever made, but every song that I've ever released out into the world. Um, and I've already come prepared. I have a list already where I've gone through and personally ranked all of my songs already. So I did that. I already did that. I'm just going to be presenting the list today to you guys, to everyone. And if you like one of the songs, especially some of the songs that are towards the bottom of this list, you probably won't be able to find them anywhere because I have taken them down. But actually, most of them are available on the SoundCloud. If you want to hear any of them, or you want to download any of them, go ahead. I have this SoundCloud account titled The Archive for Me, and it's titled that because it is an archive for me, and it has every single song that I have basically taken down, minus a few. This one's still up, and also some songs that I just haven't released, which I don't know if I included these on the list. Actually, I think it just might be every song that I've released officially. I think that's what I did. I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I included any of these unreleased songs on this list. But yeah, this is gonna take a bit. This is gonna take a minute to get through all these songs. I'm gonna be here for at least a good hour or two, ranking every single song that I've ever released. So there are going to be some songs that I have released that aren't going to be on this list, and the first one that I'm going to showcase here that is just not on the list at all is this song that I made before I even really started making music properly. I made it using this website that's probably defunct by now. I don't remember what it was called, but you basically just dragged samples. You just dragged and dropped samples into this website. It was pretty bad, but I made this song with it, and I'm not even going to put it on the list because I just don't think it really counts as a song that I made since it's just comprised solely of samples. So here it is. It's titled Rigid, and it was released on October 6th, 2013. It builds up and gets into a drop with barely any build up at all. It's pretty bad. I'm pretty sure it's just this same thing for like 3 minutes. Yeah. It doesn't do much beyond this. And then I also have this VIP mix that is, I didn't even see this when I was originally like looking to pull this stuff up before I started recording. So I don't remember what this sounds like. This comes only a month after the original mix. I guess I had to go back and improve upon my previous work of dropping in samples. It seems like the intro is quite longer. I mean, yeah, there's not much to say about that. It's just not it. It's not good. So let's go ahead and start the list off with the very bottom of the list, which is a remix that I made for an official Monstercat remix competition for the song The Munsta by Scandal. And actually, I have the wrong thing pulled up. Here we go. And this song is basically very reminiscent of the previous two songs I just pulled up, in the fact that it's pretty much just samples. I didn't do much with it at all. The only thing that I did in this is I just added drums. That's about it. I'm pretty sure I dropped in all of the samples that came with the stems, the stem pack that you download for the remix. I just dropped everything in except for the drums, and that's about it. I didn't add anything else besides my own drums. So, it's no surprise that this lost. White has 18 likes. I have no idea. That is just absolutely baffling to me, honestly. But there's also this. I did a VIP remix of the song, and it's not very different at all. The only thing that's different is this trap drop I did at the end. And it's, I didn't add anything. I didn't add anything new. It's yeah. Yeah, not very good at all. Next up, we have yet another remix. And this is a remix of Lone Moon's song Answer Me featuring Azuria Sky. And this one is just bad on a whole lot of levels. First of all, the vocals are not even on beat. And there's just not a whole lot going on here. The vocal chops sound way too loud in the mix. It just doesn't sit right. So without further ado, I'll play a little bit of it now. So yeah, it's very evident that this is just not good at all. So let's move on to the drop. This is just laughably bad. It's not good at all. Yeah, just awful. Just absolutely awful. Next up, we have an original. The first original song on this list here. This was a part of my first EP that I ever did, called the Tactics EP, and the song is titled Tactics. So the melody is just awful. It's not a good melody at all. It sucks. It's very evident that I didn't take a lot of time to try and make a good melody. I just kind of was like, oh, okay, there we go. There's a melody. And the drop is just awful. It sucks. And then I do like this Moomba, the tempo changes to 110 here in the middle. I do have to give myself props for actually changing up the drop. I didn't just copy and paste it from the first drop. So, you know, good job to me on that. That's you know, I'm glad that I did that. But other than that, it's just not a good not good. Next up on the list, we actually have the very first song that I ever made in FL Studio. And it is not good. It's not good. So right off the bat, the drums are clipping. Yeah. The melody in this one is awful as well. So I have the stems for this song, and a couple of times I've tried to actually turn this into something decent, and I've been unsuccessful. Maybe someday I will be able to turn this into something that doesn't sound like trash, but I doubt that will ever happen because it would probably require me turning this into a completely different song. So maybe I'll use some of the pieces of this song and turn it into something different. But yeah, it's not good. I actually think that this drop melody isn't half bad. It's the little synth there is interesting. It sounds okay. It's okay. But yeah, it's very clearly the first song I ever made. There's no question about that. Oh boy. All right. We got another remix. There's going to be quite a few remixes at the bottom of this list, and this one definitely deserves its spot here at the bottom. Singularity featuring Telepathics by Case Closed. I don't think Case Closed is around anymore. I believe that was a duo. I don't remember who the two people were. And I don't know if... Oh, I just noticed the I in Singularity is a capital. Why have... That's just gone unnoticed since 2014, I guess. Awesome. But I remember being really proud of this song when I made it, or this remix. I thought that the drop was pretty good. I was mostly proud of how I was able to do the cutoff on the drums, because I had heard that been done in a lot of other songs. I was like, whoa, I finally figured out how to do that. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Next up, we have another remix, more like a bootleg is what it is called, of the song Legends by Razahel. And this one is just, I added a house drop to this song. It's nothing too spectacular, and it just doesn't sound very good sound quality wise. The only redeeming qualities of this is the original song. That is really it. That's all this has going for it. It's really being carried by the fact that the original song was pretty good. That's all. That's all it has going for it. Another remix here. Another remix up next. I have a lot of songs on this account that I just haven't released, and I thought that I had plugged these into this list, but I guess I hadn't, which makes sense. A lot of them just aren't finished. So that wouldn't be fair to the songs. Yeah, so next up we have this remix I did for Spirit Stone by Versio and Cubed. Another two people that I don't know if they're still around making music. If they are still around, I think Versio is, maybe under a different alias now. I'm gonna check actually, since I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's yeah, it's looking like the answer is no. I don't. They don't seem to be around, at least not under this alias. So, this, you know, quality-wise, this is pretty decent, but the reason why it's so low is because I didn't really do much with this song. I plugged in the MIDI files that they gave for the remix competition, and that's about it. I don't think I added much more to this than that. It's another case where all the good qualities of this are, you know, due to the fact that it's a remix, and that it's the original was good. You know, I didn't do anything to make this good. It was already good. All right, next up we have Evil VIP, and I cannot for the life of me find the original Evil. It just does not exist. It's probably on a computer somewhere. But I don't understand how it got deleted and I didn't have access to it, but I have access to this, you know, this VIP version. It's very strange. I don't know how that happened, but this isn't too bad. The only place where this kind of lacks is the second drop, where I tried to do like a dubstep halftime drop, and it just is the first drop copied and pasted, and it doesn't sound very good. So I'll play the first drop. The first drop was pretty good. I think it's okay. I would definitely not use this sound here, but the other part... This sound is pretty cool. I like that sound. I'd use that. I'd keep that in if I were to make the song today. But here's the second drop. Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. Next up, we have the other song on the Tactics EP called Don't Look Back. And I believe this is my first attempt at drum and bass. It's a very bare bones and simple first drop. Not much going on here. Also, is it not in this? Do I have two different versions of this song? Maybe I do. That's very strange. Maybe this is the complete version that I have on my YouTube channel. I think it is. There's this melody here that is not in the SoundCloud upload for whatever reason, but it's not a very good melody, so I didn't add much. I didn't add much value to this song by doing that. But the second drop has something interesting going on, so I'll give it that. It's not the best thing ever, but it's definitely more interesting than the first drop. Oh boy, alright, next up we're moving on to my second EP, my 4-track EP, Infected. And this is the first song that has made the list. And I think this one's okay. The only problem with this song is the melody is pretty good. I like it. This might be the first good melody that I made. At least on this list so far. But it's just not mixed very well at all. The drop, not the most pleasant sounding thing also. It has a lot going on and not much of it is very good. But my favorite part of this song is this like flute part that I add after the first drop. This part I thought was pretty cool, and I still think it sounds nice. I like it. I like this still. Okay, next we have another song off this same EP titled Fire. And this one was very inspired by a song off Monstercat titled Inferno by Rich Edwards. And if you listen to that song, actually I'll pull it up in a second, but I'll pull it up now. You'll be able to tell that I was very inspired by this song. Let's see okay, so this was released February 27th, 2015. May 6th, 2015, so just a couple months later. It was mainly like this part of the song that I tried to replicate. Kind of like the build up of this part. But the drops are completely different sounding. This is more like Big Room House almost. Whereas mine is like electro. But it's not very good. It's not very good. I think, if I remember correctly, the second drop does much of the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same drop, just repeated again. Okay, next. Oh no, this is pretty bad. This one's gonna be pretty bad. Next we have this song called Magnum. It's not too horrible. It's just that it has nothing going on for it. It's just I don't like how it sounds. I've tried to start recreating this one again to make it better, and I just kind of forgot about it. So maybe I'll return to this at some point. I do think the melody in the drop is pretty good. This is another one that was inspired by a Monstercat song, specifically Tristam's song "My Friend." I think it's either "My Friend" or "The Vine." Let's see when these were released. November 14th, 2015. Okay, so it had to have been "The Vine," because this was released after that song. No, this is... What song am I thinking of then? Maybe I'm just thinking of... Am I thinking of Breakin' to the Stars? What song am I thinking I was inspired by? Maybe it is To the Stars. I don't think so, but... I was pretty sure it was a Tristram song. This is very strange. I gotta get to the bottom of this now. I was pretty sure it was My Friend. But that can't be possible because this song came out after. This song came out after it was released. I swear. Like, this part, I was so certain that I almost stole this directly and put it in Magnum. Like, really? 2015, am I reading? Okay, 2014. All right. I don't know how is I somehow just missed that completely. So yes. All right. So this is the song that I did steal and gain inspiration from. All right. Anyway, now that I got that figured out. Now that I got that figured out, I can move on to my first indie dance song is what I labeled it as. This is pretty bad. It's the first song that I put my own vocals on, I'm pretty sure. The vocals are awful. That's pretty much the worst part of this song. Besides, the rest of the song has nothing going on. If the vocals weren't there, there would be nothing. There'd be nothing going on here. It somehow has 4 likes. I can't really believe that it's possible, but it is. Oh yeah, okay, I do remember this melody here. This melody's decent. I'll give it points for that melody at the end. That was fine. Okay, next we have a song called Eternity. If I can find it. Did I not upload it to my YouTube channel? I must not have. That's very strange. Did I really not upload it? I guess I didn't. Okay. So I made this after Happy Hardcore was kind of blowing up. You know, Stronger by Stonebank had just come out that year, I think. Yeah. This is 2017? Oh, never. I forgot. Okay, these are all re-uploads. Okay, that really scared me for a second. I was like, I made this 4 years ago. No. But this is okay. It's just, you know, it's meh. Meh. I do think the melody here is pretty good. But I'm pretty sure this is the same melody that I used in this. Yeah. That's okay. But it really didn't need to be as long as this song is. The second drop is drum and bass. That's fun. But it didn't need to be as long as it is. It's fun. I'm bobbing my head to it. So, you know, I genuinely find there's some good things about this song. I like the melody. The melody's good. Next. All right, we got another remix here. This is also a Monster Kitten remix from the Monster Kitten subreddit. Didn't win this one. Didn't win any of them. And, you know, good for good reason. I didn't deserve to win any of them. Believe it or not. So I think this is actually a pretty good remix, if I remember correctly. It just doesn't hold up structure-wise, if I remember correctly. And sound quality is not very good. The mixing's bad. That's a lot of the early stuff. I think this is probably one of the first songs that I would, on this list, where I'd be like, yeah, you can listen to this still. Even though I do have it taken down on my original SoundCloud. But I don't think this is bad. I think this is pretty decent. I think this is average. I really like the middle section of this song still, actually. It's kind of like a little bit of a future bass thing here. And I used the sample from the original song. This is from the original song. And I just, like, I put a, what is it called? A little filter thing, a reverb on it. That kind of like grew as the section went on, which I thought was pretty cool. And I think it still holds up. Both drops are the exact same, I'm pretty sure also. So that's a -1. That's a -1, but I still do that sometimes, so it's a very light -1. Anyway, next we have another remix. Another remix. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh, it might be on my original SoundCloud, actually. And not this weird archive SoundCloud I have pulled up now. Let me see where it is. Here it is. I found it. And there's a little bit of a treat on this song. Oh, it's gone now, actually. Because it's still public. This is a public song still. This is a remix of Rain Man's Bring Back the Summer, Rain Man of Cruella fame. Is he still making music? I have not heard anything from Rain Man, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Is he still around? 1 month ago, New Age. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ollie, that's the same person on this song. still working with this vocalist, so good job for him. Anyway, I think this is a pretty interesting song. It's very different, and I don't know what genre this would be classified as. But I had a comment from Doomu of Monstercat fame on this post that he has deleted because I was in the middle of a little bit of a squabble with another producer that I admit full wrong in. And I even apologized to them in DMs and didn't hear anything back from them. But yeah, anyway, that's just a little interesting thing there. But anyway, this is let's play this a little bit. Very interesting, very different sound. I think it's pretty interesting still. I don't think I would listen to this personally, but I definitely did try something new here. This is definitely a better drop than the first one. And then I think the second one is in halftime, like a dubstep drop. Yeah. It's okay. I like it. But like I said, I don't think I would go out of my way to tell anyone to listen to this, which is its main fault. Oh boy. All right. Back to the Infected EP. We have the title track for Infected. Infected. This melody is okay. It's definitely one of the better ones from the time. Release date 2016? That can't be true. That can't be true. I refuse to believe that's true. But this is another song where it just did not need to be as long as it is. There's no reason for this song to be 5 minutes and 4 seconds long. It's just not necessary. I don't like that sound at all. It's not a very nice sound. It's no good, no good. Yeah, there's a lot of different sections to this song. Like a drum and bass part for no reason. This part, I don't even know what this is. Not good. That's what it is. It's not good. Next, what do we have? What do we have up next? Breakthrough. You can go back to the YouTube channel now, I guess. This was my first attempt, my first successful, my first Future House song. Now, I had been trying to make a Future House song for a couple months because I really liked Future House songs. So I was like, I want to make one of my own. And I just couldn't make a good one until I made this one. I thought, this is good. And I do think this turned out pretty good. The melody is the only strong suit here, but barely. I'm more so happy with how I was able to do like the little reverse thing for the drop. Here. That was a new thing that I learned for this song, so I've used that a couple other times in other songs, so that was pretty good. I also think that this is the first time that I used Blender for the album art, so that's pretty cool. Blender's great. Love Blender. What's next? Next up, we have Oh no. This is pretty bad. This might be the lowest, most like the most recent song that's this low. This is a pretty recent song. This is not good. I don't think there's any other songs that are newer than this that are this low. Drowning, which was my spiritual sequel to the song I made a year prior, Submerge, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the list. And I deleted this song pretty soon after posting it onto my YouTube channel because I just did not like the vocals at all. I did not. They didn't turn out very well. There was a lot of problems with the song, and I just didn't want to go back and fix it, mostly because the project file just could not run well on my computer. It was just not working well. But it's a pretty... I think the song has a lot of good ideas. It's just not, it just didn't get where it needed to be for me to have kept it up. Because every song before this and after is still up for quite a few songs. Like it's in a sandwich of songs that are still up that I think are still fine. This is not one of them. This did not pass the vibe test. It's just the vocals themselves aren't bad. It's just the way they sound. I don't know how I did that to the vocals. It sounds like I have only the high end on the vocals for some reason. I don't know why I did that or how I did that. It's just not good. The drop's fine, it's just not very well mixed. Like the ideas are all there, it's just not put together well. I don't remember if I did anything different with the second drop. Let's see. I think I might have just copied and pasted. Because I was trying to get this song released a year to the day after Submerge. So I was on a time crunch that I made for myself. Like an idiot. The outro is pretty cool. What? Didn't ask for that, sorry. Didn't ask for that. I used to put a lot of thought in my outros because I always envisioned them being Monstercat uploads, and in every Monstercat upload, it would have 20 seconds at the end to show the next release. And I was like, well, everyone's going to be focused on that. So I'm just going to make an outro that's kind of like there, but not taking up too much space. And it will feel like a nice conclusion. You can see the next release. That's what I had in my mind. As stupid as that is, and it is stupid. All right, next we have, going all the way back to the Infected EP, we have Nocturnal, which is kind of a Future House song. I have it labeled as a Future House song. I don't think it really counts. It's definitely, leaning in that direction, but it's, I don't know. I still think that this is one of my best melodies of my early discography. It's a very weird song, but it kind of just works. I do. The melody's pretty good. Definitely the best on the Infected EP. I'll give it that. I can't tell, but I'm not sure if the piano chords really match up with the melody that's being played here. I don't know. That's interesting, you know. And then the second drop, it goes down to like 100 BPM, I think, for the same drop, but it's just a little slower. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. That's interesting. That's different. I like that. Okay, next we have... Next we have... Going into the future a little bit here. The song I made for Halloween 2016, titled Annihilation. And I originally was making it with the thought that I would put this under a different alias for whatever reason. I thought that would be fun to like make a different alias with a specific style. It was going to be more like trap, I guess. But I ended up scrapping that idea, and I just, you know, I just post-release this under my main alias. It's a very simple and basic song. Not the greatest, but it's definitely mixed better than the previous songs in this list. So that's why it is up a little bit higher. And the second drop is pretty good, I think. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like that. This is, sound quality wise, this is pretty good. I'm happy with this still. I give this an A. Okay, next up we have... I don't know if I agree with my placement on this, but I'm sticking with this because it's too late for me to change this now. But my first release with a label, a now defunct label that erased my release with them after they deleted everything and started over. So this label's been erased twice now. But it's a dubstep song called Resistance. I think the vocal chops on this might still be one of my best I've done. It's pretty good. And here's another thing. This song is another one that I modeled directly after a Monstercat song. I believe it is Noise Storm Together. And in fact, I bet if you put the songs one on top of each other, I am pretty certain I follow the structure of it to a T. 423 and this song is 350, so almost. Starts off like this, the vocal chops, and then it goes into this part where there's a little bit more. I did the same exact thing. Watch. I do the same exact thing. I add in a couple more things. So the drop in this is at about 40 seconds. Let's see where the drop is here. Okay, I had a bit of an extended melody section there, or whatever I want to call it. So the drop's okay. It's not really that great, but it's fine. The one thing that I still really think is cool about this is the thing that I did after the first drop, which I have no recollection of what I did to make this. There's that little sound in the back. I think it was some massive preset that I just used, but it works really good. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, honestly. It's a very cool sound. It's a good way to pull you back in. And the second drop is the exact same, I'm pretty sure. So, there's that. I did try and make a VIP of it. And I just... my computer died. The one that I was making it on. So I never finished it. But I think I pretty much made the song from scratch. I built it up from scratch. So the vocal chops are almost the same, but it's a little different. It's a full song, it just wasn't... I just wasn't able to finish it completely. Like, the whole song, the idea's there, just not finished. Also, the melody is a little different. I think the drop in the original is better. I think it is. I tried recreating what I did in the original, and the effect is just not the same. So yeah, there's that. What do we have next? Next we have Lunar. I think this song turned out pretty good. More cool vocal chops in this one. For a long time I used the same acapella for all my vocal chops. So if you really pay attention, you can hear some of the same sounds across a lot of the songs that I released around this time. It's a fun song, but my favorite part is the middle section. This part is pretty cool. There are a couple different layers going on here, which I was pretty proud of myself for being able to do at the time. A bit of a counter melody to what was going on there. And then the second drop is just in halftime. It's not very good, but it is what it is. It's a very happy song. It's nice. Next we have the fabled Submerged that I was speaking of previously when we were on the song Drowning. Now, I worked on this one for quite some time. Well, I didn't work on it for a long time. I meant that I worked on it a lot, for about a month straight. where I put a lot of hours into this one, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. This one, I was drawing inspiration from... who's that person? Another Monstercat song. Tristram Till It's Over. And then Overwork My House, or House. Those were the two songs I was pulling inspiration from for this one. This has a pretty cool melody as well. I think the drop on this is also pretty good. Is this still public? It is. These are nice comments. These are... I looked at these a while back and I was like, aw, thank you. But this is a pretty... I think the song still holds up pretty well. Maybe sound quality wise not so much, but the ideas in it, I think it's pretty good still. Next, we have Freedom, a house song, future house, if you will. Another vocal chop heavy song here. I think this one turned out pretty good. I like this song. I like the piano and everything working together here. It sounds very, very cool. I like it. We're getting into the territory of songs where I'm very proud of these still. So I'm happy that we've gotten to this part now. Now I'm not just completely, you know, trashing everything. It's a much more pleasant experience where I can look back on my songs and be like, you know what? This is pretty good still. The drop, I will say that the drop could be better, but I honestly think that the intro more than makes up for anything else that happens in the rest of the song. The middle section, I just remembered, it's like a chill out section, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. I like that song. This is a good one. I think this is a good one. Oh boy. Oh boy. Next one. Yeah, this is not... Honestly, this one might deserve to be a bit lower than it really is. Yeah. I think I would put this one or two below where it really is. We have Ghosts. This is my Halloween song for 2017. I try to do a Halloween song every year for a little bit. This might have been my last one that I attempted. Or maybe no, 2018. I released a Halloween song, but it wasn't... I didn't make it, you know, for Halloween. I just happened to have a song that I thought, this fits Halloween, I guess. So I released it around Halloween. So this is like the last time I made a song that was like, I'm going to release this for Halloween. And the vocals are not good. The lyrics, I should have tried to re-record them because I made the lyrics up as I was recording the song and I didn't go back and revise it. Like, it was just a flow of consciousness, and it's not a good one at all. Like the vocal delivery was so bad that I even adjusted the pitch. It just was not good. And the drop is interesting, but it just doesn't have a lot going on for it. Yeah, this song should definitely be lower than it is. Like, this is an interesting drop, but it just keeps going and it doesn't do anything different, which is the main issue that I have with it. Like, it just kind of sounds empty to me. It's it needs more, but I don't know what it would need if I were to fix it. It's too bad. Really is. Next up, we have the song called Riverscape off of Acedia Part 2 from 2018. And the main fault with this one is that there just isn't a whole lot going on here idea-wise. Like, it's just lacking a lot of substance. Like, there's this whole minute-long intro here that I think could have just not been there. Like, it's not necessary. It sounds cool, but it's just not needed. Like, just skip to 45 seconds to get to the real song. I think the only reason this is as high up on the list as it is just because it's like it sounds good, but it's lacking in ideas, as I said already. Actually, I take it back. I think that the first part of the song, the meaningless and useless intro that I attached to it, had that been erased, this might even be up a bit higher on this list. Next up, we have the title track to an EP I released in 2017 titled The Destroyer. And I think this EP still holds up pretty well, actually. This was another attempt at drum and bass, and I think that I pulled it off pretty well. And the funny thing was, I named the EP The Destroyer before I even made this song. So that's just, you know, something stupid that I did here. And then there's like a little trap section in the middle, if I remember correctly. This is cool. I like this. This still holds up. I did like a couple different bass sounds there. It was fun. I like it. I think it holds up pretty well still. Next up we have a remix. It's been a while since we hit a remix. This is a remix I made of a song from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game that I have never played, and probably will never play. So that's pretty cool that I did that. This was me just trying to cash in on potential, you know, search results for Legend of Zelda dubstep remix. I just searched up a you know, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild soundtrack and just picked a song. and did a remix for it. So this is it. This part is just directly ripped. It's, you know, it's nothing different. And then I just turned it into a dubstep drop. I think it's probably one of my better dubstep drops that I made around this time. This is pretty good. It still holds up a little bit, I think. And then the second drop. The second drop is definitely the best of the two. And that's why it's the second one, because you gotta surprise them with the second drop being way better. Anyway, that's that. That's that. Next up, we have a song from the first of my 2018 releases. 2018 was the year that I did one song every month, and I did it successfully. I released over 18 songs, including remixes, in 2018. Something every month. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that again. I had a lot of free time. Anyway. So, admittedly, this isn't one of my favorite songs that I made. It's pretty abrasive, but that's kind of the point. Like, it's almost hard to listen to, but that's kind of the point. The second drop is halftime, I believe. Oh no, it's not. Oh, okay, yeah, it has a halftime drop. That's interesting. Could be better, could be worse. Next up, we have a song off of Acedia Part 1 called Bloop. If it loads. This song is pretty good. It's just, you know, not one of my favorites. Definitely not my favorite off this EP. Very relaxing. I don't have too much to say about this one, honestly. It's just kind of what it is. Next, we have another remix. Way Back by Vicetone featuring Cozy Zulsdorf. Doubt I'm pronouncing that correct, but whatever. She's never going to see this and get mad at me, so I can pronounce it however I want, I suppose. This one is up as high as it is, mostly because of the melody I did during the drop. I thought it turned out really good, and I might just reuse this and turn it into an original at some point. Just cut out the vocals, because that's the only thing about the song that makes it a remix. If you remove the vocals, there's nothing else from the original song in this. The vocals aren't mixed very well into this, which is pretty much my only complaint on this, I think. But this melody, I think it's pretty good. Although if I do take out the vocals, I'm gonna lose this part, the vocal chops in the drop, which I like. Oddly enough, 232 views, 0 likes, 0 comments. So I don't know where this is, you know, who's watching this. Whoever's listening to this song is too ashamed to comment or like it. It's their loss. Okay, next up we have Nightfall off of Acedia Part 2. This is my attempt at combining two genres that I thought really shouldn't be able to be combined, which was like what is it called? Outrun, or like vaporwave, like synthwave, and chill out. So this is my attempt at combining the two genres, and it kind of worked out pretty good. If I remember correctly, the second drop is pretty cool. If it loads. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, next up we have Glacier. Song from 2018, my 2018 run. A lot of songs, a lot of great stuff. I feel like there's a song that I could point to that inspired this one, but I genuinely don't know what it would be. But I'm sure I took inspiration from something to make this the way that it sounds. Because it doesn't really sound like a lot of the other stuff that I released in 2018. The only problem with this song that I have is that there could be more to like layer onto this song to make it sound a little bit more full and complete. But that's really my only complaint with this one. Otherwise, it's pretty decent. Next up, we have Solon from Acedia Part 2. Hitting a lot of the Acedia Part 2 songs here. This one is pretty cool. My only complaint on this one is just the length. I think that it could be shortened down, and if that had happened, it would be a little bit better. But it's not horrible. I just think, yeah, there's no reason for this song to be as long as it is. Like, I could have shaved a minute off this and it would still be fine. The vocal chops on this also pretty cool. I liked how that turned out. Next up, we have another remix. I believe from 2018 also. In My Head by Virtual Riot. I did a remix. This was originally not a remix, but I saw that there was a remix competition, and I said, I haven't done a remix in a little bit. Let's see if let's see if I can make a remix for this. And I said, hey, wait a second. This song's in the same key as this song that I'm working on right now. What if I just put this in and put it in? Because I was like, I need something in this song to make it more complete. And the vocals just fit in perfectly. So maybe one day I will release this as an original and just remove the vocals, because it's another case where that's the only thing that makes this a remix. I don't know, this would be, I guess this would be qualified as like future bass. The original title for the song was going to be Neon, I believe. But yeah, the vocal chops that were in the original song that I just dragged in, it just fits perfectly. It's going to be really hard to fill the song to make it an original song, honestly. I think I even released this after the remix competition was well over. I knew there was no chance that I was winning it. Next up, we're gonna go back a year or two now for this one, back to 2015. This might be the oldest song that's up this high. Flames. This song, still to this day, I'm very happy with how it sounds. I think I mixed it very well. My friend Ethan mainly produced house music, and this was a house song, and I'd done house before, I'm pretty sure, but I just wasn't happy with how it turned out. So I asked him for help to guide me on, making this song sound as good as it did. And I have him to thank for how it turned out. And this one went on to be featured on a channel called Frequency Now. It was Free to Use Music, I believe was what it used to be called. And this song ended up in a Machinima video, which is probably deleted by now because Machinima, I think, deleted all their videos once they were acquired by Fullscreen or whatever the parent company is of Rooster Teeth. But anyway, so that sucks that that video is gone, but I know it's out there somewhere. Someone probably has it documented. Anyway. I think this melody is pretty good. I think the drop is good. The only complaint I have is the second drop. I think it could have been cleaned up a little bit better. It's like a future bass drop. I don't think it fits as well. I think I could have just done another house drop and not changed the tempo at all. But it turned out well. I released it on my birthday, my 16th birthday in 2015. Comments are still up. A little too repetitive, I gotta agree. But the problem was, I kind of knew that my songs were a bit repetitive. And so I thought, oh, I'll change it out by doing like a different drop by, changing the tempo. But I think I should have done a little bit more with it. It's still not too different. It's whatever. Okay, next up we're going back to the Destroyer EP from 2017. This is a pretty good song. Honestly, I think it might even deserve to be a little bit higher up in this list. But it's tough competition from here on out, I think. Almost everything about this song, I think, turned out really well. The vocal chops, the melody, the drops. The first drop is dubstep, the second one is like a trap, I think. The second drop, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I directly was inspired to do that from a song that I was working on with Vectrex. We'll get to this song in a little bit, Monster. So this is the first song I made. Well, actually, it's technically the second song I made with Vectrex. The first song that I made with Vectrex never got released because it just didn't turn out very well. This is the original one. This isn't the real title. We never came up with the title, so I named it this myself. I named it Zombies and Stuff because it does kind of sound like a Halloween type song. So I'll play a little bit of that real quick. And this is a pretty good song still, honestly. This is so cool because it sounds exactly like I might go back and try and finish this up because it reminds me so much of the songs that came out when we were making this. It rocks in that aspect. I think it'd be fun to go back and try and finish this up, just to like clean it up a little bit and release it officially. Because it's not a bad song. The main things that I would want to clean up here is the intro. I think it's got a little bit too much going on here. It's a little bit too cluttered. But everything else I feel like is pretty great. I bet I could still get this file. It's probably on Splice somewhere. I might go and look at that after this, actually. But anyway, so there's that first song. And then we did a second song that just didn't get finished. That was pretty cool. And it's pretty sad that we didn't finish it. But it's whatever. Maybe I'll try and finish it up on my own. Actually, I did work on it a little bit, maybe a year ago. So it sounds different than this now. But this is the first drop. And I need to confess transparency because I always felt bad that my name was somehow the first in the collab because Vectrex did by and far the most work on this song, Monster, the one that got released. The original one, I'd say it was about an even split. But this one, Monster, he definitely did way more work on it. He put a lot more into this song than I did. This one, I think it might have been the opposite direction. I think I might have worked on this one a little bit more than he did and put a little bit more into it. He did a lot of the second drop, though. I give him credit for the second drop. This is almost all him. I think the first drop was a pretty collaborative effort. But this second drop got me to make the trap drop in the Goddess song. Very cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's Goddess. Next up, going back to the Acedia EP, we have Bloom, which is pretty cool. This was just kind of like for fun to see what I could do for fun. And I originally had no plans on releasing this until I was like, I have a couple songs that are kind of just like little experiments. And that's how the Acedia EP series was born. I just kind of like how it sounds. It's very fluffy. It's very relaxing and chilled out. Repetitive, but I don't know. I just really like it. It's very positive. Makes me feel nice. Moving on very quickly to returning friend of the show, Ethan. is responsible for this next one because I just recreated one of his own songs that he made because he took it down and I was like, this song is great. I was like, this melody is killer. I can't believe that you're taking it down and no one will get to hear this melody ever again. So I decided to preserve it for everyone to be able to hear. And this is it. I recreated it pretty faithfully to what it was. Like, it's almost a one-to-one recreation here. I don't think I did anything different than the original. And the funny thing about this song is I made it and I sent it to Ethan and I was like, does this sound familiar to you? And he was like, no. I was like, it's your song. I just recreated your song. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. I wonder if I can find Clueless by him, his original song. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It might still be up somewhere. What is going on? Here it is. This is it. Look, I even added him as a Rendivius and Graham Cracker on that. Wait, here's his original. So this was in November 2014. I did February 2017. Anyway. His whole page is gone now. He deleted it. It's too bad. Anyway, moving on. We're getting closer and closer to the present. Back to Acedia. The first one, to be specific. We have Lost. This has pretty good vocal chops on it too. Again, this is probably the same exact vocal chops I used in in Resistance. I think it's the same vocal chops. The same vocal sample. The melody is pretty good too on this one. Anyway, all right, next. Next we have a song that I'm still pretty proud of. 12 a.m. The once again vocals on this one I think turned out really cool. This is my first time doing the vocals like this. Where it wasn't just like vocal chops, it was like a vocal part that I just played like it was an instrument, like I played it as notes. So that was pretty cool. And then the melody in the second part of the drop is pretty cool too. Very cool. Now we're going back to the Destroyer EP for the last song that I haven't talked about yet, that hasn't made the list yet, which is Runaway, the very first song where my vocals were at the forefront. The only other song before this that I had vocals on was See You Now, but it was buried and not very good. So I kind of count this one as my first song with vocals on it. Vocals are okay. It's decent. But I think the drop on this still holds up pretty good. And this song was directly inspired by a Chime song. Chime and Lone Moon. I forget what the song is titled. Rescue Me, I think. Maybe just Rescue. Yeah, it is. It's just Rescue. This is such a good song. But the specific part that I really tried to copy was this part where it kind of like, after the drop, it went back into this little like almost intro type thing, and then it built up again immediately into another drop. And so I copied that exactly. So here we go. I'm going to show you. Wait, did I not do it? Maybe I didn't do it there. Maybe I made that up in my head. I could have sworn. Did I do it in the second drop? No, I don't think I did. Okay, so no, I made that part up completely. That was all in my head. But yeah, I was very inspired by Rescue to make this. So much so that this was a completely different song, and I couldn't figure out what to do to make it sound good. So I scrapped the entire thing besides the vocals, and I just framed it based on this song. So yeah, there's that. Next up, we have another song from the 2018 string of releases, Take Me. This is another Future House type deal. Not my vocals, taken from Splice. One comment from Wyatt. Good, thanks. Thanks, Wyatt. I don't really have much to say about this one way or the other. I think my only complaint is the second drop. I don't know, it just doesn't work very well in my opinion now. I think it's technically in a different key in the second drop. Which, I mean, it worked, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I like it as much. Okay. Next up we have What We Fear, the song that was released directly before that song. So, side note, this might be one of my favorite album artworks I've ever done for any of my songs. This is just, I don't know, it just looks very cool. This is a photo I took myself, and I don't remember what I did to make it look like this, but I think it looks awesome. Like, I could imagine this on a t-shirt or something. It rocks. But, yeah. I think this song turned out great. I like how it sounds. The funny thing about this song is I made it originally as like a 1-minute thing for a video I was working on. Like, it was just gonna be the intro song. And I just liked how it sounded, so I kept working on it and I expanded on it. And I turned it into a full song. Also, in the lyrics, I think the lyrics are actually what we hear. But what we fear just sounded way better to me, so that's what I titled it. Even though that's not what the lyrics say. But no one has to know that. And no one will know that. Next up, still in 2018, we're going to be stuck in the 2018s for a minute, it seems, is Feels Like VIP. I think I released this a little over a year after the original. And obviously I think that the original is superior to the VIP, since I placed it in this order. Like, the vocals just don't sound as good here as I do in the original. It's a new melody for this. It's just pretty cool. The second part is definitely my favorite, I think. But I mean, it's not a bad song at all. It's a good song. Just not as good as the original. Next we have a remix. It's been a little bit since we hit a remix, has it? Hasn't it? Speaking of Chime, recently, talking about Chime, we have, this is a remix of Chime's song, Wait For Me. Didn't win the competition. I've never won a single remix competition that I've ever entered. This is true, this is true. It's very basic, but I think that it's still pretty cool. I think the bass drops when it gets to it, it fits in and it sounds pretty cool. And I didn't copy what the original was doing. Although it's very much in that same vein. Okay. Next up, we have another one with my vocals in it. So, kind of cringe. I was never really happy with my vocals in this one, but it's whatever. Pathways. I tried to make the vocals a little bit better by like adding a couple layers, but it doesn't really do a great job of hiding how bad they are. I do think that the structure of it is good. Like the drop part. I don't know where it goes. That's pretty good in my opinion. I'm happy with how that turned out. That was good. And there's like 3 different melodies going on in the drops. It's kind of crazy. It's a little bit too much, but it's what it is. Next up we have another song from the Acedia series from Acedia 3 called Underground. If it loads. Now, getting this one ready for this EP, I had an empty slot on the EP. I needed 4 songs and I had 3 ready to go. And I had this idea just lying around. And I was like, alright, I'll polish this one off because I always liked how it sounded. But it just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't finished. So, like it was basically, it didn't have these vocals in it. It was basically just the drop part and that was it. But I like it. It kind of has the vaporwave retro outrun type vibe to it. It's pretty simple in what it is, but I like it. Sounds cool. And I don't really have any complaints with this one, honestly. I think it does what it does. It does it great, actually, so if you have anything negative to say about it, you can screw off, actually. Alright, time to go back in time a little bit by a couple months compared to where we were with that one, with my quote-unquote Halloween song of 2018, which was barely a Halloween song. Arrival, off of my Savages EP. Now this one is just weird. And now I have another story on this one. The inspiration behind this one is from an unlikely source. Would you believe it? Yes. Yet another Monstercat song. Messiah by Laszlo. I believe. I believe it's a song. Yeah, the vocal effect is what I was going for. It's not the same, but it's what I was going for. It was my inspiration. So I don't know what genre this is. It's very strange, but the second drop, I still think that I should have turned it into an electro house type thing, because this just doesn't fit the build up at all, really. Like I should have used this growl sound that I have here. That one. I should have used that as like a drop, but I just didn't. I think that would have been a little bit too different from the first drop, so I think maybe in this build-up I should have just taken that part out, because I feel like that was given a false impression of what was to come. It's too bad. Next up we have Sanctuary. Another one from 2018. Yeah, this one's pretty good. A more recent drum and bass thing. Vocal chops are pretty good. The only thing that I really think would need to be fixed on this is the drops. I don't think are very interesting. Especially this part. The second part of the drop has a melody coming, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think that needs to be at least somewhat in the first one, because otherwise it's just nothing. There's nothing there. But other than that, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. Next up, we have Warzone. This, let me see, where is it? This was on the Savages EP, yep, that's right. This one I had brewing for quite a while and I didn't know what exactly to do with it. I was kind of thinking it was never going to be finished or released because I was like, this is kind of not too good, but I fixed it up and made it better and I got it ready for release. I think it sounds pretty old for it being a 2018 release, honestly. Like the style of it, it's kind of outdated for even 2018. But if I remember correctly, the second drop is Breaks. Let's see if I'm correct in that memory. Okay, it isn't, but I changed it up at the very least. So anyway, there's that. Okay, now we got one from just last year that I released that it's not too good. It's not too good, I'm going to be honest. Yeah. The main issue with this one is sound quality is not all there. It could have definitely sounded way better than it does. Like the master on this is just not good, and that's completely my fault. But I don't think it has a lot going on for it. It's not very interesting. Like, even this melody is pretty simple and lackluster. But this was about as far down as I felt this deserved. It could have gone lower if I was feeling really hateful towards it, but I spared it. I spared it on the list. And the second drop is a house drop. So that's fun. And not a very good one at that. Next up, we have one from last year as well. Bloom 2021. Now this is actually the exact same project file as Bloom that I made this in. I simply just kind of added a bit more to it. I layered it a little bit better and tried to improve on it. This was originally meant to be the first of many, restructures of that first Acedia EP, because I was planning on turning it into an album. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go back and fix up, you know, do some touch-ups to some of the songs that I felt like need a little bit more. So, you know, this is essentially the same exact song, just with a little bit more to it. Like in this little middle section, the main melody is playing a little bit in the background there, where it wasn't in the first one. So yeah, there's that. It's nothing too special. Not special enough to be put up higher on the list. Next up, surprisingly, is my most recent song. Yes, it's that low on the list here. It's quite low, given it's you know, one of my most recent. It is my most recent song. It just came out last month. But I just don't think it holds up that well compared to the stuff that's going to come after it. 1-7. It's not a bad song at all. I just I wasn't able to do much with the song, given that I was working with a time signature that doesn't warrant itself very well to sample usage. Like, there are not very many songs out in this time signature. So I had to do everything on my own, and I just couldn't really figure out enough ways to make this song work. So that's why it is a little bit lower on this list. It's not a bad song. I just kind of wish I could have done more with it. But it is what it is. All right, next up, one of the big songs, huge songs here. Best EDM, featured on the iconic Best EDM channel. That's right, it's Rendivius and Vectrex Monster. This is just a banger, you know. There's not really anything that I have to complain about here. Vectrex did an incredible job on this song, and it's more his song than mine. Really, the only thing I did with this song is this melody here in the background, and then like one of the bass sounds and the drops. I can't think of anything else I did in this song besides those two things, honestly. Maybe like a little small things here and there, but other than that, nothing. Maybe I messed around a little bit with these sounds in this drop, but I don't think it's likely. This is what I did. I added that in. That was my huge contribution. I am curious to see what the comments say. Greatness. I came from one of Jumbo's old videos. Are they talking about Mumbo Jumbo? That's kind of crazy. Pumbaa's videos. I don't know who Pumbaa is. I know that this song was used in a couple of Gario videos, if I remember correctly. I wonder if I can find any of the songs from this. There's no way this uses my song. Yeah, that's someone else's song. If I specify... Oh, look, someone did an audio surf of the song. I need to... I want to contact Vectrex. He goes by a different alias now. I don't even know if he's released music in years now. But I want to contact him and see about getting this up on streaming. Because I've been planning on doing that with a lot of my older stuff, is getting it up on streaming at some point. I bet this buildup is gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, this is crazy. That's pretty cool that it speeds up in that little part, or at least it seemed like it did. I forgot about the drum and bass drop, actually. And this drum and bass drop was inspired by a Porter Robinson song. I'm pretty sure Spitfire. It might have been the Kill the Noise remix. Let me check. Yeah, it's definitely the Kill the Noise remix I'm thinking of. Yep. So yeah, that's it was inspired by that exactly. Any other interesting things I can find really quick with this song in it? Here we go. This is cool. This is good. This is what I was looking for. I need a complete song. 1 year ago, this guy's asking for them to complete it a year ago. Dude, I don't think they're finishing this. This is from 2015. Yeah, good luck on that though. All right, moving on. Moving on to back to 2017. We're going all the way back. What song could possibly top that? In my opinion, it's going to be Feels Like. This is a pretty special song because it's the first song I put out on streaming and on iTunes or any place to buy my music online. So this is pretty cool for me. This is a big milestone. I think the vocals are good, and I think the drop is even better. And then the dubstep drop comes out of nowhere. Crazy. You wouldn't expect it, but there it is. A dubstep drop following a future bass drop. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. And for some reason, this song is blowing up in Russia on TikTok, and I can't find it anywhere. I just know that it is. It is blowing up. It has 19,000 streams on some video in Russia on TikTok, and I have no idea where it is. I can't find it for the life of me. So if anyone knows how to access Russian TikTok, please hook me up. Find this song on there. Find the video that is being used, that is using this song, and send it to me. I would love to see what is causing my song to get so many plays on Russian TikTok. It's really something that I need to get to the bottom of. I'm gonna go insane if I can't figure it out. All right, next up, another song from the Acedia Part 2 EP. Or no, Part 3 actually. Victory. Now, my only real complaint about this song is that the intro goes on for a little bit too long to get to something, and it doesn't expand upon it very much. Like it just repeats itself for about 40 seconds, and then it gets to the drop. Like it's a good build up, but it's just like, I don't know. I could have done something a little. Oh, it goes on for 50 seconds. How long does it go on for? Almost a full minute. Wow. What was I doing? But it's just it's a cool sound. I like how it sounds. It's very interesting. And I hadn't made anything like it before, so I had that going for it. Next up, we have a song that I released, my first song of the pandemic, Take Two. I started working on this well before the pandemic, and I finished it after the pandemic had started. So that was fun times. My favorite part of this song is not the intro, not the drop, not the second drop, because the second drop is the exact same, but my favorite part of this whole song is the outro. I just like it. It's very cool. I used a MIDI guitar, and I had fun. This part here. I feel like it's comes out of nowhere and it complements it very well. I just like that part. It's very cool. And for that reason alone, that's why it's this high up in the list. Otherwise, I might have put it a little bit lower because it's not terribly interesting, to be honest. But just because of that last part, I like it so much, I had to put it up there. All right. Next up, we're going to the most recent Acedia EP, Acedia 4 for Grime. And this one's okay. Not my favorite of the Acedia songs. That's the wrong song. That's Depth, not Grime. That'll come a little bit later. So, here's a funny story on this one. This song started after I downloaded a MIDI file for Hall & Oates' song Rich Girl. And I plugged it in with this bass, and that's what you hear. It is somehow these notes are also found in Rich Girl. So this is technically a cover of Rich Girl by Hall & Oates. So yeah, that's Rich Girl by Hall & Oates right there. But this is cool. I did a couple songs. Some of them didn't get finished with this bass after I downloaded the preset for it because I thought it sounded so cool. I used it in a couple different things, and this is the first of those to actually get released. Most recently, Andromeda here, which we'll get to at some point. Is it in my list? I don't think that song is even in my list, is it? I don't think I put it in here. It's not. I didn't include it in the list. Okay. Hold on. Let me figure out where this song needs to go. You know what? I think it deserves to be next up, right on this next list. Here we go. Maybe even one peg lower, but it's going to go here for now since this is... I don't know why I didn't put this in the list. So, yeah, Andromeda, this came out in November of last year. And the reason why I'm putting it here, not higher up, is just because the mix down is not very good. I should have double checked this and listened to it a couple more times, but I just kind of wanted to get something out before the end of the year. And the main melody lead is buried way too much in this section I'm about to pull up. Yeah, it should be way more prominent than it is. But other than that, I think it turned out pretty good. This is having a hard time tonight, apparently. All right. Going back a little bit to 2019 for another remix. It's been a little bit since I pulled up a remix. I think this turned out really well. I'm still very happy with how this turned out. From here on out, it's pretty much no complaints at all. I think maybe a little bit here and there. Now I'm looking at this list. But this was actually inspired by, believe it or not, 100 gecs. Let me see if I can find it from this Minecraft concert they did. This is such a stupid remix that they did. You can't help but laugh and enjoy it. So, I pretty much copied the vocal pitching. It's just so stupid. It's incredible. So yeah, that's where I got the idea to pitch it up like that. I heard that and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a remix of this that doesn't have goofy sound effects. It's so stupid, but I love it. It's great. All right, next up we have a song. I have to go a little bit further back. Oh, never mind. It's right here. It's right here. What am I talking about? It's Celestial. I really like this intro. Fun fact, my face is right here. It's a very distorted picture of my face, on the album artwork. And I did that because I didn't want anyone to steal this art that I made, because I thought it looked really good. And I didn't have my logo on it like I usually did. So I was like, I'll just put a picture of my face in there somewhere. But yeah, I really like this melody. Like I said, really no complaints from here on in this list. We're getting close to the end of the list. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're about to enter the top 10. After this next one, we're in the top 10. I'm pretty sure, I think. I could be wrong. Next up is my collaboration with Adrian Kwiatkowski. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This is a song that was a year in the making. We went back and forth, and actually, I don't know if I mentioned this in the stream, but the Monster Kitten subreddit turned into the amateur production or amateur producers subreddit, and I posted on there. In 2017, I was like, hey, I'm looking to make a song with anyone. I will make a song with you. And Adrian was the only one that responded, and we made a song, and it turned out great. My one thing that I would go back and change is I kept pushing him on the side chaining on the drop. And I think I went a little bit overboard. It's not horrible, but that's the only thing that I would like tweak. But I think it's fine. It turned out great. And then there's this like orchestral section in the middle that I think sounds really cool. And this was a true, the thing that I liked about this one is that this, as opposed to the songs I made with Vectrex, which are also very good, I love those. This one was more of a collaborative effort than those. Because like I said, Vectrex kind of deserved the most credit for Monster. And then the second song we started working on, I think I took a lot of the reign on that one. This one was really almost exactly 50-50, I felt like, which was pretty cool. What just happened? Why did it zoom in like that? Why did I do that? Why did I have that happen in the middle of the video? I don't understand. I did it again at the end here. Does that correlate to anything? Am I missing something? Anyway, it's a great song, very cool, and maybe I'll hit up Adrian and we can do another song sometime in the future. I'd be interested in doing that. Anyway, next up we have Trial 1 from Acedia Part 4. This one is pretty cool. This is just a wacky song. These are some of my favorite ones that end up on Acedia EPs that are just like, I don't even know what genre this is. It just sounds awesome to me. Just everything about this song rocks to me. I think this is officially number 10. I think the last one was 11, if I'm correct. But it's just, I don't know. I just like it. It's like relaxing, but then you have this kind of like energetic part with this part. And then this part after the first drop. This feels like super weird and out of place, but it works somehow. It rocks. I like this song. All right, next up we have RXW. This is technically a collab, but my friend Wyatt, who I was working on the song with, told me he didn't care if he got any credit at all. And he didn't give me a name to put it under, so I just didn't credit him because he said he didn't care. Or he didn't want to be credited. But he plays bass on this, and then he did the melody for the first part. And a lot of other stuff that I can't really remember what he contributed, to be honest. This was released a day after my birthday in 2019. I like doing my musical releases on my birthday whenever possible for whatever reason. So he did this melody, I'm pretty sure. Wyatt. Which is also where the title comes from. Because the project file was just titled Rendivius X Wyatt. And so I just shortened it to RXW. Because I couldn't think of a better title. After I added this, he kind of dropped off because he was like, this isn't really my wheelhouse. I don't know what to add on to this, which is understandable. House music. Oh, it's because I spammed house music in the description. Maybe I should do that more often. It's easily categorized. It knows. That's hilarious. It didn't garner me any more views than it would have gotten otherwise, obviously. This is just a cool song because it has like 3 different drops, 3 different sections that are completely different from one another. It's pretty cool, and I don't think I have any other songs that are like that, really. All right. Next up, we have Apex. What I've dubbed this song psychedelic EDM. Just because of the amount of flanger I put on it. That's all. That's the only reason. Well, this song just sounds kind of cool. I like it. Another like future house type song. It's fun. I like it. It is a little bit repetitive, but it's okay. And this is another instance where the melody here in this drop, I wish was more prominent. I feel like it got a little buried in the mix, which is too bad because it's really cool in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure the second drop is just the exact same. Yeah, it is. All right, next up we have Warzone VIP. So this is probably one of my best album artwork ever. I just genuinely didn't know what to do for it, so I tried a couple different things and I just couldn't come up with any good ideas. But the second drop really makes this one for me. The first drop is okay because it's this is about as close as I'll ever get to releasing a rhythm dubstep song. But the sample in the second drop comes from a video that is one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. Oh wait. Okay, so that's not from the video. That's just me screaming. But the thing I was thinking about is in the second this drop. I'll point it out. Here it is. No, never mind. Where is it? Maybe it's not in the... Is it in this first drop? I'm so confused. I think I'm thinking of a different song. I am. Never mind. Well, it's a good song regardless. It's coming up in a couple songs. All right. Now this is a cool song because I made this in under 24 hours as part of All Nighter 6 from Form. As you can see in the album artwork, it says it all over the place. I think that this is pretty good for being made in under 24 hours. A feat that I had not been able to do or attempt since like 2015, since I was in high school. I had not been able to do anything close to this. So, it's not the best thing ever, but I'm considering that it was made in under 24 hours, I think it rocks. Especially the dubstep drop. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. Now we do the song that I accidentally clicked on earlier from Accidia Part 4, which is Depth. Now this one is pretty cool just because of how weird it is. Another one where I just don't know what the genre really is, which is always a good sign. This one took me a whole year to make. I started it, this is the first song I started on in 2020, and I didn't finish it until like the end of the year. Just cool. It's just cool. I don't need to say anything else. It's just cool. It's a cool song I made. And now we go back to 2018 for this one. Savages, the last remaining song that I haven't touched from the Savages EP. This is easily my best dubstep song that I ever made. Easily. Got these vocals off of Splice, I'm pretty sure. The drops are the most coherent of any dubstep song that I made, I think. They don't repeat themselves, and it makes... There it is. That's the sound effect that I was talking about. The no. All the way at the end here. This is where I got it from. There it is, the no. There it is. And then I think I even changed up the second drop. That's crazy. I can't believe I would do something like that. I would really change the second drop to be something different. Another instance where I got scarily close to entering the realm of rhythm dubstep, and that's just not something that I ever want to do. And I got really close there, and that's just pretty unfortunate. Next up, we're going all the way back to Acedia Part 1 for this one. Going all the way back to 2017 or whenever. 2017, December 2017. Grotto. Now this one still holds up personally to me because it just sounds really cool. I still don't know how I made this. Sometimes I listen to my stuff and I'm just like, I don't know how I made this. I can't believe that I somehow made these sounds. It's just such a nice song. I'm so glad that I made this. There's just small little things going on in the background. It's not just the same thing happening over and over again, even though it may sound like it. It's not. Especially this last part. This is my favorite. So good. I don't even need to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything else because the three remaining songs, including this one, perfect. They're perfect. And on that note, let's go to the next Acedia Part 3. Funny enough, the three final songs on here are all from Acedia EPs. And the next one is Bounce. This is just such a cool song, in my opinion. I still think this is easily one of my best I've ever made. The songs I love the most are the ones that don't need a drum build up. It builds itself up, you know? You can feel it rising. Like if there was a drum build up there, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't make any sense. It just works here. It's so good. I don't need to say anything else. Let's just move on to the number one. My number one personal favorite song in my entire discography. If you're looking at my tabs, you would have already seen it. That's right. It's perfect. My number one song is perfect. I mean, it had to have been this song, because it's perfect. This song is perfect. I have nothing to say bad about this one. It's perfect. The vocal chops, just, I don't know. I don't even know how to like define this song into a genre. It's like chill house, like lo-fi chill house before I even knew that was a thing. And then the second drop, perfect. Perfect as well. Well, I did it. It only took me 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I went through my entire discography and ranked it all. In total, I think that was about, it was 75 songs that I just ranked. Um, yeah, I can't believe I did that. But I went through one by one, my worst to best, and I think that it's pretty good. I showed a nice little progression of improvement on each song as we got closer and closer to the top. And yeah, I can't wait to do this list again next year when I have more songs released. That'll be fun. Just kidding. I'm never doing this again. Oh man. Well, I'm going to be right back and then I'll figure out if I want to keep streaming for the night. In the meantime, listen to my perfect song. Okay? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm back. Um, you guys need to calm down. You guys are acting way too frantic right now, and it's frankly disturbing. And I really don't like the type of stuff you're saying in the chat right now. It's really, frankly, disgusting to me. Um, I'm going to make the executive decision to pull out of Afghanistan and pull out of Twitch for the night after a successful 2 hour and 38 stream in which no one showed up. I think that I'm going to call it there because obviously no one cared about anything that I did tonight on this stream. So I think anything else that I would even consider doing, no one else would be interested in. It's just going to be for me. So on that note, I'm going to end the stream right now.